Are you feeling overwhelmed by negative energies swirling around you? Do you find yourself constantly affected by the drama and toxicity of the world? Don't worry. In this video, we'll show you how Stoicism can be like a shield, protecting you from all the negative stuff out there. Stoicism isn't about ignoring problems, it's about taking back control of your own mind. We'll explore how to identify negative influences, set boundaries like a boss, and cultivate inner peace that negativity can't touch. So stick around, and let's unlock the Stoic secrets to becoming a fortress of positivity. Step 1. Think happy thoughts. The first step towards protecting yourself from negative energies involves a simple yet profound practice: thinking happy thoughts. This seemingly basic instruction holds significant weight in shaping our mental well-being and resilience in the face of adversities. Stoicism emphasizes the power of our thoughts in influencing our perceptions of the world around us. The ancient Stoics, such as Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, understood that our minds are powerful tools that can either work in favor of our inner peace and happiness, or become battlegrounds where negative energies take root. As they believed, it is not external circumstances that determine our inner state, but rather our interpretations and reactions to those circumstances. By training ourselves to focus on positive and constructive thoughts, we can build a mental fortress that shields us from the harmful effects of negativity. So, what does it mean to think happy thoughts in the context of Stoicism? It goes beyond mere fleeting moments of joy or forced optimism. It is about developing a mindset that sees the good in every situation, no matter how dire it may appear. It involves cultivating a sense of gratitude for what we have, practicing acceptance of the things we cannot change, and maintaining a hopeful outlook even in the face of challenges. The Stoic concept of the view from above provides a helpful perspective in this regard. Imagine yourself rising above the chaos and turmoil of everyday life, looking down on the world with a sense of detachment and serenity. From this elevated vantage point, the trivialities and setbacks that once seemed overwhelming take on a different light, and you gain a clear understanding of the bigger picture. Thinking happy thoughts also involves engaging in positive self-talk and affirmations. Instead of dwelling on self-doubt, criticism, or pessimism, actively choose to speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. Remind yourself of your strengths, accomplishments, and potential for growth. By fostering a supportive inner dialogue, you create a nurturing environment within your own mind that repels negative energies and cultivates a sense of inner peace. Practicing mindfulness plays a crucial role in thinking happy thoughts. Mindfulness, a core tenet of both Stoicism and modern psychology, involves being fully present in the moment without judgment. By staying attuned to your thoughts and emotions as they arise, you can intercept and redirect any negative patterns before they take hold. Mindfulness allows you to observe your mental landscape with clarity and intention, enabling you to choose a positive focus even in challenging circumstances. Another essential aspect of thinking happy thoughts is cultivating resilience in the face of adversity. Stoicism teaches us that setbacks and hardships are inevitable aspects of life, but our response to them is within our control. By reframing difficulties as opportunities for growth and learning, we can transform obstacles into stepping stones towards personal development. Thinking happy thoughts is not about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about adopting a proactive and empowered mindset that enables you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and fortitude. By training your mind to seek out the silver linings in every situation, you build a psychological armor that shields you from the corrosive effects of negative energies. By consciously choosing to focus on positivity, gratitude, mindfulness, and resilience, you pave the way for a more peaceful and fulfilling inner life. Remember, your thoughts are powerful tools that shape your reality. Make sure to wield them wisely to create a life filled with joy, resilience, and inner harmony. Step 2. Go to another room. Sometimes the best way to protect ourselves from negative energies is to physically remove ourselves from a toxic environment. Stoicism encourages us to prioritize our well-being by seeking spaces that promote tranquility and positivity. Taking a step back from negativity can provide us with the clarity and peace of mind needed to navigate challenging situations. Stepping into another room can serve as a powerful tool in our pursuit of shielding ourselves from negative energies. The physical act of moving to a different space can create a clear boundary between the negativity we wish to avoid and the peace we strive to cultivate within ourselves. Imagine a room filled with negative vibes. Perhaps it's a place where arguments often occur, where unresolved conflicts linger in the air, or where individuals bring their emotional baggage. In such an environment, it can be challenging to maintain a positive mindset and focus on our well-being. The constant exposure to negative energies can slowly chip away at our emotional resilience and make it difficult for us to stay grounded. By choosing to go to another room, we are taking an intentional step towards protecting our inner peace and mental clarity. This simple action allows us to physically distance ourselves from the sources of negative energy, giving us the opportunity to reset and recharge. Moving into a different room can symbolize a shift in our mindset, signaling to ourselves and others that we are choosing to prioritize our well-being above all else. The act of physically changing our surroundings can have a profound impact on our mental state. Stepping into a room that is free from the negative energies of the previous space can create a sense of relief and renewal. The new environment offers a fresh perspective, giving us the chance to approach our thoughts and emotions from a different angle. In a different room, we have the freedom to create a space that aligns with our values and promotes a sense of peace and tranquility. Whether it's a cozy corner filled with soft blankets and comforting scents or a well-lit area that invites creativity and reflection, we have the power to design a room that nurtures our well-being. By surrounding ourselves with positive elements, we can create a sanctuary within our own home, a safe haven where negative energies have no place to dwell. Going to another room can also serve as a form of self-care, allowing us to take a moment to breathe and center ourselves. By intentionally moving away from negativity, we are acknowledging our own worth and prioritizing our mental health. In a world that often bombards us with stress and negativity, retreating to a peaceful space can be a powerful act of self-love. Distance often provides clarity, allowing us to see things more objectively and make more informed decisions. By physically removing ourselves from the midst of negative energies, we create space for reflection and insight. This shift in perspective can be invaluable in helping us navigate difficult emotions and challenges with a sense of balance and composure. By going to another room when faced with negative energies, we are embodying this Stoic principle of inner peace. Instead of allowing ourselves to be consumed by external influences, we are actively choosing to protect our mental well-being and nurture a sense of tranquility within ourselves. By creating physical distance between ourselves and sources of negativity, we pave the way for inner peace and mental clarity. This intentional shift in our surroundings allows us to reset, recharge, and gain perspective on challenging situations. As we strive to cultivate a sense of tranquility in our lives, let us remember the transformative power of choosing to step into a space that nourishes our well-being. Step 3. Decide what's okay and not okay for you. Stoicism encourages us to take a closer look at our values and boundaries. This step in protecting ourselves from negative energies involves setting clear guidelines for what we are willing to accept and what we are not willing to tolerate in our lives. So, how do we go about deciding what's okay and not okay for us? It starts with introspection and reflection on our core beliefs, priorities, and goals. By understanding what truly matters to us, we can begin to define our values and establish boundaries that align with our principles. When we establish what is acceptable and unacceptable in our lives, we are essentially creating a shield against energies that may disturb our sense of well-being. This shield acts as a protective barrier that helps us navigate through challenging situations with confidence and resilience. One key aspect of this step is recognizing our limits. We all have our boundaries, both physical and emotional, that define the extent to which we are willing to engage with others and the world around us. By being aware of these limits, we can clearly communicate our needs and expectations to others, setting the stage for healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Deciding what's okay and not okay for us also involves acknowledging our triggers, the things or situations that provoke negative emotions or reactions within us. By identifying these triggers, we can take proactive steps to avoid or manage them effectively, reducing the likelihood of being swept away by negative energies. Establishing boundaries helps us cultivate a strong sense of self-respect and self-worth. When we clearly define what we will and will not tolerate, we send a powerful message to ourselves and others that our well-being and peace of mind are non-negotiable. When we talk about bad vibes, figuring out what's good or bad for us helps us stay away from harmful things and keep our minds and feelings healthy. When we set limits on what we let into our lives, we make a safe zone where good vibes can grow and bad ones stay out. Knowing our limits empowers us to assertively protect ourselves from anything that threatens our peace of mind and well-being. When we have a clear understanding of what we stand for and what we will not compromise on, we become better equipped to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and resilience. Deciding what's okay and not okay for us is about taking ownership of our lives and setting the tone for how we interact with the world around us. It is a proactive step toward self-empowerment and self-care, where we prioritize our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being above all else. By embracing this principle of Stoicism and defining our values and boundaries clearly, we lay the foundation for a more grounded, balanced, and fulfilling existence. So, take the time to reflect on what truly matters to you, set your boundaries accordingly, and honor yourself by staying true to what's okay and not okay for you. Step 4. Speak up confidently. When we speak up confidently, we are not only asserting our presence but also setting boundaries that protect us from negative energies. By communicating assertively, we convey to those around us that we value ourselves and our opinions. This, in turn, promotes a sense of self-worth and resilience, making us less susceptible to external influences that may seek to bring us down. Being assertive means standing up for yourself without being mean or too quiet. It's about talking honestly and politely, while also thinking about what others think. When we speak confidently, we can handle tough situations well and keep good relationships with others. This helps us feel good mentally and emotionally. One important thing Stoicism teaches is knowing what we can control and what we can't. When we speak up confidently, we focus on being honest and clear about what we think and want. This helps us communicate well, set limits, and protect ourselves from things that could make us feel bad. Also, when we speak up confidently, it makes us feel stronger and more able to take care of ourselves. When we express ourselves clearly and confidently, we show ourselves and others that we can handle problems and stand up for what we need. This makes us feel tough inside and able to handle tough times with bravery and calmness. Speaking up confidently is important for personal growth and empowerment. It also helps keep our relationships healthy by setting clear boundaries. When we communicate what we need and want clearly, we show respect for others and build trust. This makes it easier for everyone to talk openly and honestly, which reduces misunderstandings and strengthens our connections. Confident communication also helps us deal with conflicts calmly and assertively. Instead of avoiding tough talks or being passive-aggressive, we can handle disagreements gracefully. By expressing our thoughts and feelings respectfully, we can solve problems better and stop bad feelings from ruining our relationships. When we speak up confidently, we also create a ripple effect that can inspire others to do the same. By modeling assertive communication and self-expression, we encourage those around us to find their voice, stand up for themselves, and assert their needs and boundaries. This fosters a culture of empowerment and respect within our social circles, creating a supportive and nurturing environment where everyone feels valued and heard. By asserting ourselves with clarity, purpose, and respect, we establish healthy boundaries, communicate effectively, and navigate challenges with grace and integrity. Through assertive communication, we foster personal growth, maintain healthy relationships, and inspire others to find their voice and assert their own needs and boundaries. So, remember to speak up confidently, for in doing so, you not only protect yourself from negative energies, but also empower yourself and those around you to live authentically and courageously. Step 5. Pay attention to your emotions. Emotions are powerful forces that can influence our thoughts, behaviors, and overall well-being. They can either uplift us or drag us down, depending on how we respond to them. By being mindful of our emotions, we can gain insight into our inner world and develop the resilience needed to navigate life's challenges. While we cannot always control what happens around us, we can choose how we interpret and respond to those events. This includes acknowledging our emotions, understanding their underlying causes, and deciding how to act in response. When we pay attention to our emotions, we become better equipped to assess the validity of our feelings. Sometimes, our emotions may be based on misperceptions or irrational beliefs. By examining our emotional responses, we can discern whether they are justified or if they stem from unfounded fears or biases. By cultivating self-awareness, we can prevent our emotions from spiraling out of control. When we are attuned to our feelings, we can intervene before they escalate into overwhelming states of anxiety, anger, or despair. This proactive approach allows us to address our emotions in a constructive manner, rather than being at the mercy of their whims. Stoicism advocates for approaching emotions with a sense of detachment and objectivity. Instead of being swept away by our emotional currents, we are encouraged to observe them from a place of calm rationality. This perspective enables us to see our emotions as temporary passing states rather than inherent aspects of our identity. To effectively pay attention to our emotions, we can engage in practices such as mindfulness meditation, journaling, or regular self-reflection. These activities provide us with the space to observe our thoughts and feelings without immediate judgment, allowing us to gain insight into our emotional patterns and triggers. By developing a deeper understanding of our emotions, we can begin to discern between healthy and unhealthy responses. For example, feeling sadness in response to a loss is a natural human emotion. However, allowing that sadness to consume us to the point of immobilization may be detrimental to our well-being. When we pay attention to our emotions, we empower ourselves to choose our responses consciously. Rather than reacting impulsively or habitually, we can pause, reflect, and decide how best to act in alignment with our values and goals. This intentional approach fosters a sense of agency and autonomy in our emotional lives. By tuning into our emotions, we can uncover valuable insights about ourselves and our needs. Emotions often serve as signals that something within us requires attention, whether it be unmet desires, unresolved conflicts, or unexpressed feelings. By listening to our emotions, we can address these underlying issues and work towards greater emotional balance and fulfillment. Paying attention to how we feel is like being kind to ourselves and taking care of ourselves. When we take time to understand and accept our feelings, we become more connected to who we are and better at handling our emotions. This helps us stay away from bad vibes and makes us happier, more thankful, and calmer inside. By paying attention to our emotions with mindfulness and self-awareness, we empower ourselves to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and grace. Step 6. Establish limits to save your energy. In keeping ourselves safe from bad vibes, it's important to set boundaries and limits. These boundaries act like shields, protecting us from things that drain us and keeping our minds and hearts healthy. By setting limits, we can face life's challenges better. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is realizing we can control how we react and where we focus our energy. When we set limits on what takes up our time and attention, we make room for what really matters to us. This helps us avoid things that don't matter or are harmful, so we can use our energy for what's important to us. Establishing limits is not about closing ourselves off from the world, but rather about discerning where to invest our time and resources wisely. It involves recognizing our boundaries, whether they be in relationships, work, or personal commitments, and learning to assert them confidently. Setting limits is a form of self-respect and self-care, signaling to ourselves and others what we are willing to engage with and what we need to protect. When we fail to establish limits, we risk overextending ourselves and becoming vulnerable to negative energies. Without clear boundaries, we may find ourselves entangled in toxic relationships, work environments, or personal habits that drain our energy and diminish our well-being. By setting clear limits, we create a protective barrier that shields us from these harmful influences, allowing us to preserve our inner peace and focus on what truly matters in our lives. In Stoicism, knowing when to stop is linked to focusing on now and accepting what we can't change. When we accept our limits and set boundaries, we build inner strength. This helps us handle challenges calmly and gracefully. We save our energy for important battles instead of wasting it on small fights or distractions. Setting limits also lets us focus on taking care of ourselves, which is important for a happy life. When we know our boundaries and respect them, we make room for rest, growth, and feeling better. We allow ourselves to say no to things that don't help us, so we can focus on what makes us feel good inside. Establishing limits is a form of self-empowerment and self-definition. When we set boundaries, we assert our autonomy and affirm our worth, sending a clear message to ourselves and others about what we value and how we expect to be treated. By establishing limits, we cultivate a sense of inner strength and conviction that guides us in making choices that align with our deepest principles and values. When we deal with bad vibes and pressures from outside, setting limits is really important for taking care of ourselves. It helps us keep our energy, protect our feelings, and stay true to who we are inside. When we make clear rules about what's okay and what's not, we make a safe place for ourselves to do well and develop without being hurt by bad stuff. Step 7. Stay mindful to avoid negativity. Mindfulness helps us stay attuned to the present moment and avoid getting entangled in negative energies. By cultivating awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, we can proactively protect ourselves from harmful influences. Mindfulness empowers us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, fostering resilience and inner strength. In our everyday lives, we often deal with lots of negativity. It can come from outside sources, like things happening around us or from people we talk to, or it can even come from our own thoughts. It's easy to let these negative things get to us and make us feel bad. But if we practice being mindful, we can become more aware of when negativity is affecting us and do something about it. Mindfulness means paying full attention to what's happening right now, without judging it or getting too caught up in it. When we're mindful, we can notice our thoughts and feelings without instantly reacting to them. This helps us step back and see things more clearly, so we can choose how to react instead of just going with our first emotional response. Being mindful helps us feel calm inside and clear in our thoughts. This calmness acts like a shield against bad feelings. When we focus on the present moment, we're less likely to let outside things or what others think bother us. It means we're better at dealing with tough times and problems without getting too stressed. Being mindful also means paying attention to what's happening around us and who we're spending time with. Bad vibes can spread easily, and being aware of how we interact with others can help us avoid getting pulled into negative situations. By noticing the mood of those around us, we can choose to stay away from negativity and spend time with people who make us feel good. Mindfulness allows us to cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the positives in our lives. By focusing on what we are grateful for, we shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance, reducing the grip of negativity on our minds. When we practice gratitude, we become more resilient in the face of challenges, knowing that we have sources of strength and joy to draw upon. Another way mindfulness helps us avoid negativity is by fostering self-awareness and emotional intelligence. When we are mindful, we are better able to recognize our own triggers and patterns of behavior that lead to negative outcomes. By understanding ourselves more deeply, we can break free from these patterns and respond in ways that align with our values and goals. By practicing acceptance and forgiveness, we release the emotional baggage that weighs us down and prevents us from moving forward. When we approach life with an open heart and a clear mind, we create space for positivity to flourish and transform our experiences. By staying mindful of our thoughts and actions, we can avoid being swept away by emotions and impulses that lead to negative outcomes. Instead, we can approach each moment with clarity and intention, choosing the path that is most virtuous and in accordance with our higher principles. By cultivating awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, we empower ourselves to respond thoughtfully to difficult situations and protect ourselves from harmful influences. Through mindfulness, we can build inner strength and fortitude, enabling us to navigate life with grace and wisdom. Embracing this practice as a core aspect of Stoicism can help us live more virtuously and authentically, embodying the principles of reason and virtue in all that we do. By cultivating a positive mindset, setting clear boundaries, and staying mindful of our emotions, we can fortify our inner resilience and shield ourselves from external negativity. Remember, you have the strength within you to safeguard your well-being and maintain a harmonious equilibrium amidst life's challenges. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism, and empower yourself to thrive in the face of negative energies.